It's nice. All right. Hey, y'all. We're going to get some people coming in here. So we're going to take the first couple of minutes, probably one or two, just to hang out, kind of get ready as people filter in. But for those of you coming in, hi there. I'm going to reintroduce myself when we got a majority, but my name is Elly Easter. I'm the Channel Partnership Executive here at ChurnZero. And I'll be walking you through customer community today. So we're just going to hang tight again for a couple more minutes as people start trickling in, and then we'll really kind of get this thing kicked off. With that being said, guys, go grab a coffee, take a big stretch if you need to, just getting prepped and ready. And we'll kind of dive in a couple of minutes. Also, guys, and again, I will reiterate this as we kind of move throughout, but please feel free to put any questions that you guys have in our Q&A. If we can't get to them today, right, and if I can't answer them on the call for whatever reason, maybe we're hitting time or whatever else that might look like, don't you worry, I'll get back to you later today with an answer. So as we kind of go throughout the webinar, just feel free to kind of put them in there. We will give it a couple more minutes here. Right. Right, we're looking pretty steady here, guys, with whom we've got in the room. So I'll just go ahead and get started. Of course, y'all, if you have to drop, this is being recorded. Don't you worry, we'll get the recording to you guys out as soon as we can after it gets done processing. But y'all, just to reiterate, hey, it's nice to have y'all here. My name is Elly Easter, and I'm the Channel Account Executive over here at ChurnZero. And really what that means is I kind of help out with customer education and customer community, and what that means and what that looks like for everybody and for our customers. So starting off today, just to reiterate, guys, we do have our Q&A. So if you have a question, please put it in there. But we'll go ahead and get kicked off. So did want to ask y'all today and kind of start off with seemingly a simple question, right? But, you know, we're going to go through, hey, what is customer community, right? What does it do? You know, what is it really? What is the benefits of having a community? And then really the power of community and ChurnZero, right? How can we use our community to help your CSMs? How can we use your community to help leadership? And how can we use your community to go ahead and help support other functions outside of the CS org, right? Sales, marketing, support, all of those grand things. Did want to start kicking off with a question though, guys. So again, simple question. Do you all have a customer community? All right, so maybe you do, right? And you're loving it and you're rocking it, right? Maybe you do, but hey, we've got some work to do here. Or hey, new to the program, right? We don't have a customer community yet, but we're kind of interested in exploring, and that's why we're here, right? So we'll leave the poll open for a couple of seconds and try and get things rolling here. But no worries today, guys. Even if you do, even if you don't, that's why we're here, right? This whole webinar is for everybody of all levels. So we'll just give it 1 or 2 seconds more. Awesome, possum. So it's looking like, guys, we've got the majority of folks answering our poll. So great. And thank you all for your participation. We really appreciate it. But we really kind of got a mixed bag in them. So we'll kind of take that mixed bag approach today when we go through our webinar, right? And we've got some folks that, hey, yeah, do have the community and loving it. So we'll talk about kind of some advanced techniques there. Hey, we've got a community, right? But there's some other things we could kind of add in, and hey, we don't have a community. So what this is all about, right? So we will go ahead, we'll go ahead and share the results with you all, just so you guys can see what's going on. And then we'll kind of buzz on here. So guys, what is a customer community? So for those of you who have it, you probably know about it, right? But again, just for the folks who don't, we'll kind of reiterate here, right? So a customer community is really a place for your customers to go ahead and rock and roll together, right? It might be a place where they can go to get education, right, from their peers. Hey, I've got a question about how to use a certain part of the tool. You know, who's done this before me, right? Or, hey, how are you using XYZ product to see the most ROI? Great, awesome. Maybe it's for product feedback and recommendations. I know it can seem a little scary, right, to have a customer community where, people are sharing their recommendations for good or for bad, right? And it's particularly the bad that tends to scare people. But with that being said, right, with a customer community, we've got the customer voices in the open, right, out there in front of us. So even if it is, hey, I'm having trouble, or I don't understand why something was built this way or why it acts this way, right? It gives you and your peers the ability to address those questions and really kind of help them, see, hey, this is the reason why we were thinking about that, or hey, you know what, that's a really good point. We'll go ahead and check into it. So it also lends this air of accountability as well. Maybe it's a brand builder, right? Like we over here at ChurnZero, we love our community and we do have brand ambassadors who are in our community as well, right? Those ambassadors teach and empower other of our customers, right? They're also there to kind of offer best practices and really kind of kick things off. So it's really great, not only for us, because we've got people who are subject matter experts who we can identify and call on if we need a little extra help. But it's also really great for our customers because they can say, hey, yeah, I'm really cool. I am a brand ambassador for ChurnZero and I am a subject matter expert about this thing, which they've used across LinkedIn, they've used hiring. So a lot of great use cases there. Finally, right, it can be used as a marketing hub. And what I really mean by this, right, is, hey, you guys can put new exciting announcements, new product releases, really kind of just drive home the point that, hey, as we grow and mature, right, our community is going to grow and mature. There's going to be new and exciting things that we can share with you all. So lots of different ways that we can kind of go about this, but a customer community as its core, right, is really these 5 main things. Now, gone over what it is, right, at a high level, but really, what are the benefits? Why do we do this at the end of the day, right? And they're really a kind of, again, a couple of key points to why someone would build a community. So I feel like the one that gets brought up a lot, right, is the reduction in support time and cost. Now, this could be support time for your CSMs. This could be support time for your support team. A lot of different ways to kind of go about it, right? But when you have customers who are asking the same questions over and over and over, your team can spend a lot of time really kind of answering those questions, right? And getting in the nitty-gritty about it. So this way you have a place where customers are self-educating, and then you've got customers who are educating their peers. So they don't necessarily have to go to support or their CSM first, right? We've got a place for them to ask their question and receive feedback pretty much automatically. Going back to that point of, hey, yeah, right, you're going to get product feedback for better or for worse, this can actually help drive a product-led growth model. Because if you do start to get a lot of questions about, a particular way that your product is built, or, quality of life, ideas or questions around that as well, you guys will have the ability to not only address those, but again, it's also a good illuminator for your product team, right? Maybe if you have, someone come in and say, hey, I'd really like to see this in the product, and you get a ton of upvotes from customers on it. Awesome. That's great. That means that that's something that really enthuses them. And that's probably something that should be, more upfront on the product roadmap, right? And in fact, we have customers doing this all the time. So one of our customers, they'll let people share product ideas. The ones that get upvoted most in the community, well, those are ones that are pressed to the front. The ones that are not, right? Those are kind of still acknowledged, right? But those are, as a less priority. So they kind of get pushed a little bit to the back, but all of their customers understand if they want to see something on the product list, go upvote it in the community. With that as well, right, we can help identify upsells and cross-sells. Because when we are talking about the product so much, hey, that's a great place to start identifying who might be interested in that upsell or in buying another product with us, right? And we'll get to this when we start talking about ChurnZero and how we can leverage it. But this is a really great way for your CSMs to say, hey, okay, this customer, they may not have this particular tool yet, but hey, I've seen they've got a question or a post on it. Let me go ahead and ask them for our next renewal. Again, we're facilitating brand loyalty, right, as well. So, we talked about building the brand, but as you're really facilitating too, right, it really helps drive home that connection that your customers have with your product. It really feels like, hey, I'm getting heard, I'm getting my questions answered. And you know what, if you guys do an ambassador program, or maybe you have a badge program as well, I'm getting seen for my efforts in the community. So it can really help facilitate that brand loyalty. And then finally, right, it can provide measures of churn and retention. And of course, right, being from the CS world, I feel like that's, the kind of big thing on everybody's mind, right, is, hey, how do I say that, yeah, our customer is healthy? Or how do I say, shoot, these are people that we need to go ahead and talk through or kind of get on? With the providing measures of churn and retention, right, if my customer has a lot of questions in the community, that signals to me as a CSM, hey, I need to check in on these guys. Or maybe, right, they're doing a great job and they're answering posts left and right. They're earning those badges. They're feeling good. Okay, hey, I've got a subject matter expert on my hands that I can evangelize when it comes to the renewal. So there are a lot of great options here in terms of how you can really benefit from your community. But this is all well and good, right? I want to show you guys what it looks like in practice. I'll go ahead. I will stop my my little PowerPoint here, and we'll really kind of get into the nitty-gritty. So guys, if you're new to ChurnZero, welcome to our demo environment. If you're a current customer, right, and you're like, hey, I've seen this before, welcome back in. Guys, we're currently in our demo environment looking particularly at our custom tables. Now, when we talk about our communities, right, we are going to be feeding our community metrics into a custom table under particularly Higher Logic Vanilla activity. Now, we have got a long list of the things that we can bring in from the activity metrics. So it could be anything from a post added to a badge received. Hey, maybe they joined this super cool group, right? Maybe they joined like the CSM group or the admin group. Great, we can be alerted to that. Maybe they've gone ahead and added a comment to a particular question or a particular post. All of these and more can go ahead and be tracked in our system, and you can use them in any way that you would use our regular data, right? Maybe it's in a workflow automation right in place. Maybe it's attributing it to the journey, right? Maybe they all have to get set up in the community for them to rock and roll when they're onboarding. Maybe it's part of the health score. Hey, how many subject matter experts do we have at the account? Well, let's go look at the community, right? So a lot of different ways that we can start using this information. But I did want to talk through a couple of examples today. Now, guys, what we're going to be viewing is an account insights report that I've really kind of made up through talking with our customers, and in particular, customers who have been using the integration between us and Higher Logic Vanilla, right? And so we'll talk through a couple of examples of how they're using it. This is just a starting point, right? Really, you guys could go ahead and go over the moon with this. I'm always happy to hop on the phone and talk one-on-one if you guys have other ideas you want to work through. But to kind of start, right, one of the biggest ways that we're kind of starting to use this, and our customers are starting to use this, is really with usage, right? So what we tend to see is that, hey, people who are more active in the community tend to be more active in our product, right? And that's always a good thing because we love being sticky. So what we can do, right, is we can really report on that, share that out with our customers and say, hey, it looks like you've been really doing awesome in the community, right? Okay, the folks who aren't in the community, maybe not using as well because they don't understand. But hey, those folks that are in the community, right, they are racking up those usage events. And so this is a really great way, especially for your community managers, your CS teams, whoever's managing the community, to start tying ROI to the community. So that's where we're seeing a lot of usage being tied in. Again, I know we talked about it in brief in the last 2 seconds, but really, hey, let's go ahead and tie this to the customer journey or identify our subject matter experts or tie it to health. So when we talk about tying it to the journey, right, we've got a lot of customers who are using this as part of their onboarding. So, And achievement for their customers might be, hey, we have to have 4 people at this account join the community, and then 4 people join a group, right? And a group may be a specialty, might be, again, a particular part of the product. It might be a particular question line, whatever it might be, right? And so at that point, they can say, hey, at least my customer knows where to go if they have questions, right? Obviously, you know, folks tend to have a support team, folks tend to have a CS team, right? But at least the customer has another avenue to really go ahead and ask those questions among their peers. They're also going ahead and tying this to the journey as well when it comes to really a success plan. Typically what we like to see is that, hey, people are engaging in the community and asking those questions throughout their lifespan, right? And really starting to get to know other folks. So that's where the subject matter experts badge come in. And you might call it something else, right? Probably attributed it to your company, right? Maybe make it a little fun, maybe make it a little playful. But, you know, for the harder to earn badges, right? This can be, again, a great indicator of, hey, we've got a subject matter expert on our hands. That's someone we can evangelize when it comes time for the renewal. That's someone we can depend upon to train their peers. And that's someone who really, you know, if we run into a problem at the account, we can go ahead and evangelize in our favor. Finally, right, guys, community health. It's really great to, again, be able to tie this to the renewal health score, right? Or again, kind of a longer term health score as well. Maybe we just need someone from the account once every month to like write a post in the community or have some type of interaction with the community. Because again, it just means that they're interacting. Great. Love that, right? Tied to the health score. Final thing we'll talk through today, guys, and I think this is a really great kind of example. We do have customers that are correlating with tickets and using the tickets that they are bringing in from their ticketing system. And they're basically saying, okay, hey, this ticket has this keyword in it. If that ticket has the keyword, we're going to trigger a play that says, hey, looks like you might have questions about XYZ product feature. Here's a really great post explaining more about that product feature from one of our customers. Oh, and by the way, we'd love to set up some time for you to go ahead and meet with them and discuss best practices. So again, it's just taking the pressure off the support and the CS team to really kind of give them the time back in their day while giving that service to your customer to really empower them to go and learn. So we've got a lot of examples here, guys. I know we're coming up on time, so I did want to leave some space to go ahead and see if you guys did have any questions. If you do, again, please put them in the Q&A because I'm always more than happy to answer. Again, if we don't get to them, totally okay as well. So I'll go ahead and I will open this here on up. And while there are no questions at the moment, I will say, guys, I do get a lot of questions about, hey, how easy is this to set up with ChurnZero, right? Very easy. Essentially, all you'd have to do is come to me, come to your CSM, right? Whoever it might be, we'll go ahead and authorize it for you on the back end. And then it's just a simple switch flick, goodness, to go ahead and get that turned on and feeding data. So very easy. And the nice part is you will have a CSM on both the community side of the house and a CSM on the ChurnZero side of the house to really kind of go ahead and facilitate, hey, here are the best practices, right? Here's what we recommend. And this is what we think is going to be really great for your business. So we've got that going on there. All right, guys. Well, doesn't look like there are any other questions. If you guys do think about them, right? And if you do have questions after the fact, please feel free to contact me. Again, my name is Elly Easter. My email is easter@churnzero.net. I'm also down for a phone call, 434-989-442-UP. But feel free to reach out. Let us know if you have any questions. Let us know if you have any concerns. We'd be more than happy to answer. But with that, guys, thank you so much for your time. Go run, go have a fantastic day, and we will catch you back here for the next webinar. So thank you, guys. Appreciate it.